Welcome back to Optimize Health, where we're making easy, healthy, and delicious meals. Today we're going to continue in our series of discussing the impacts of the microbiome on our health. And today, kind of extending from how we began this topic, talking about the importance of having a diverse and healthy microbiome in order to get your adequate nutrition from the food that you're actually taking in. Some ways to address that with probiotics, as well as just some of the nutrient-based things that we need to be mindful of for overall wellness. We're going to talk a little bit about the impact of hormones as we're changing with the context of perimenopause, and the decrease of estrogen and progesterone actually changes the microbiome. And so these changes in hormones change the microbiome landscape, and that's going to change not just gut symptoms, but overall wellness and different symptoms in other compartments of the body. So what can be done? It's unfortunately not something that can be supplemented as a probiotic to replace the microbiome that is lost and changing with the hormones. But there are some foods that we can eat that actually we believe contain some of the similar or same organisms that we are losing when we're losing our hormones. And one of those is sweet potatoes. So that's why it's important to incorporate a lot of diverse plant-based whole foods in our diet. And I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the other things like incorporating fermented foods. Some studies show that approximately 6 servings of different types of fermented foods can help to support the microbiome. And so having about 6 servings a day, it sounds like a lot. It might be a lot to build up to. I'm not jumping in all at once, but that's another really important thing to do to try to boost and support the growth of our microbiome and maintaining it. Don't forget though that a really great option that you can utilize in there is to incorporate your raw chocolate, like dark cocoa, and that's a fermented food. So it's going to have not just the fermented food benefits, but also all the benefits that we talk about with chocolate, the magnesium that's really excellent for women in our situations, as well as just the other benefits like the polyphenols and how it directly can help to boost mood. You should talk to your doctor, healthcare provider, or veterinarian to see if any of these recipes, suggestions, or contents of these videos are right for you. Nothing contained in these videos are intended to be taken as medical advice. Use at your own risk. And a lot of other benefits too, right? Like with the nitric oxide boosting and for blood pressure and dilating your blood vessels. We also want to talk about it's not just taking one approach with the microbiome or with our health journey in general, trying to incorporate all of the things that we may already know or may be learning about are important for overall wellness. Some of the reasons why things like exercise can help the microbiome is that it helps not just your body, but it actually is a stress on the microbial organisms in our system as well. And it helps to select for better quality organisms that we want to have around, as opposed to maybe some less beneficial organisms that we don't want to support in there. And also, exercise brings more oxygen into the lining of the gut by increasing that blood flow and circulation in the overall, our body, and overall, we're able to deliver more oxygen, and that helps support our gut lining, these cells in that area of the digestive tract. We also want to incorporate things like fasting intermittently, and that can vary from day to day or quarter to quarter, whether you're doing a daily intermittent fast and maybe adding in some longer fasts occasionally. The fasting also is really important because it creates these ketone bodies in our system that help support our cells, and then also helping to select for better microorganisms, again, is another great benefit there. And a lot of those bad microbiome organisms, the bacteria that like all the processed food and the sugars, they don't really like to fast. So you're going to be selecting for those more resilient bacteria that are going to provide you with benefits and not give you cravings and cause you to deviate from a healthy diet. So when you incorporate the exercise and the fasting and the fermented foods and eating more variety of vegetables, this is all going to help to combine into a synergistic effect. And there's an interesting point to this. A study they did, I think it was in 2010, they were looking at a whole food diet and a processed food diet, and they just took just one simple meal, I think it was maybe a sandwich, and they used as close as possible to whole foods in this sort of a sandwich that they made for that whole food arm of the study. Then they used your like Kraft cheese and really processed white bread and other things for the processed food sandwich. The people that ate the processed food sandwich, their metabolism was like less than 50% of the metabolism that the whole food diet people, that sandwich, when that was eaten. So the people who ate that processed food lowered their metabolism by eating the processed food. So it's really important to take all these things into consideration and try to incorporate as many of them as you can simultaneously for synergy. We also are trying to avoid the pesticides, which are actually a antibiotic that kills off gut microbiome, and then seed oils, which cause stress to our entire body, including the gut, can make it hard to detox the gut, and that can make some changes in the microbiome. I'm sure that's not good. Gluten and fructose actually, they cause leaky gut, and there's specific molecules in those foods and compounds that cause leaky gut, which we talked about in our prior video, and how that is going to contribute to us having systemic inflammation and increasing risk for autoimmune disease, among other issues. So that's important to understand, again, with processed foods and high fructose corn syrup, for example. So whole foods, where it comes to fruit, in moderation is not believed to be a concern, because it comes with so much fiber when you eat that whole fruit, and you're getting so many other benefits with the vitamins and nutrients, the polyphenols and antioxidants. There's other compounds that are beneficial, and the fructose content in a whole food, when eaten maybe 1 or 2 whole servings of whole food in one sitting, is not substantial enough to really to cause that leaky gut when you have a healthy gut, in the context of doing all the other right things. So I hope this is making some sense as we are putting the pieces of the puzzle together and giving you guys some more tools to help support your microbiome, and therefore to increase your overall wellness and optimize your health. So please let us know what you think about this video and other topics you might want us to go over. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And we do consultations and talk about, one-on-one, any specific questions that you have. So don't be shy and reach out. Please like, share, and subscribe.